Okay, so we are, I think I said this before, but we're literally going into the last one. We're going to do a rapid fire HR. One of our partners in community is Kelly, I've talked to Sarah a couple of times, and we've talked about this over the last week or so. I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and come up. We've talked about this over the last week or so about what is it that employers can do to ensure that they are able to retain the workers that they have. Retention is critical in all organizations. And so Justin and Sarah from Kelly are just gonna kind of rapid fire, have a quick conversation with one another about what is it that you all can offer or do to ensure that you're able to retain. And then we are gonna wrap up the day.
Interesting too, as we were listening to the presenters, there were a lot of topics that we are gonna cover that you all touched on. So it's actually the perfect segue, and we can even get some audience participation with this too. So, all right. Great, Justin, not to put you on the spot, but you have some great expertise. All right, so Justin, on the topic of practical strategies and emerging trends in talent acquisition, what recruiting strategies are proving most effective for attracting talent in Washington's highly competitive industries, as we talked about before, including technology, healthcare, and skilled trades?
Yeah, so as far as trends that we've seen pop up through these more specialized divisions is really leveraging your networks. That could be your online networks, that could be your community networks, developing good strategy around what you criteria for your hiring process, but also understanding what is trainable versus not trainable. So where can you take somebody and plug them in to a specialized role and have them ramp up in an area? So as you go to define a position, what are non-negotiables and what are negotiables? With the talent in these areas being highly competitive, there's going to be certain skills that you do want to look for. That could be a credential, that could be an education, but do they absolutely need to hit everything, or can you build upon their personality, their traits? We also hear AI being leveraged inside of the hiring ecosystem these days. It's built into a lot of tools if you do leverage a tool. The key aspect with AI in particular is ensuring that it's trained appropriately and it's looking for the right keywords, so this way your list is actually there. Another way is to, shameless plug for Kelly, work with a search firm. So this way we can help streamline the process using a search firm or a partner. It saves a lot of your administration time. You don't have to go out and post the position. You don't have to go out and do the networking or being inside the community. We will help bring people to you inside of a short list of individuals that are meeting your criteria, your negotiables and your non-negotiables.
Great answer, Justin. Thank you for taking that. Kind of to piggyback on that, I guess, well,
That's great.
What emerging trends do you think will have the greatest impact on talent acquisition over the next 3 to 5 years in Washington?
I mean, that's really a tough one to say. As everybody touched on here today, looking at the market data from the Bureau of Labor, talking about real feels out in the market, it's very volatile from the business sense. People like to invest in their businesses when there's a certain level of certainty in the future, and a lot of businesses aren't feeling that these days. So, as far as trends, what I see as an impact is investments are going to be more strategic inside of the business place. You might hire something or somebody that's going to fill a gap within your organization on a strategic level, whether that's sales, whether that's an accountant, something that you can't do or you can't leverage a tool for to help bring that specialized knowledge to your business to help your business grow and expand. Inside of economic uncertainties, we're not seeing high levels of hiring. However, there are certain businesses that I do see that will be growing. Those are more of the businesses that truly run our economy. Positions that won't be automated. So we will see that more in the logistics, the shipping, areas where we still need humans in order to do the work for. I think that's what I could say at this point is future's uncertain at this point. So what we see now could very well change within the next 2 years, depending on how technology advances.
Awesome, Justin. One thing I want to mention for Washington State specifically, and some of you businesses may have experienced this, there is a temporary staffing sales tax that was enacted in April. So it actually was supposed to be enacted October 1st of 2025, and a lot of businesses were deferred until April. It's looking like that will be overturned in January of 2026. But this is something we see impacting businesses that rely on seasonal staffing support, or kind of, aren't sure, on headcount, so they might want to take people on temporarily. I think it's something, that businesses can overcome, but I think it's also something, it's a hot topic, and I think a lot of businesses are hoping that will be overturned sooner than January of 2029, but we'll see. And the nice thing about working with a workforce solutions provider like Kelly is that we can support you in temporary staffing, but we can also do, direct hire placements if that's, if you can't do, cover the sales tax. So that's another option. So just, I definitely see that impacting businesses specifically in Washington. So, all right, Justin, I'm gonna grab you another question. Do we have any questions from the audience? Benefits, workforce culture, workforce retention?
Yeah.
Yes, in the back, please.
We pay 100% of medical, dental, vision, all that for our employees. And we saw an increase in our premiums of, I believe it was like $60,000. And we had to get a lower plan, and now it's created other problems because now we have employees who have family members that have all kinds of issues, and the lower premium plans don't cover a lot of this, so it's created a whole mess for us. Are you guys seeing similar things with other folks, or are we an anomaly?
I would say that healthcare and benefits in general are a huge topic right now for employers. I think it can be very attractive to employees, but I think, to your point, the costs are very high. So Justin, I'll let you piggyback on that.
What you're experiencing is not isolated to you. That is something that's going across industry, especially as we've seen on the federal level when the ACA credits have expired, which caused a lot of premiums to go up. Employers have looked at ways to still keep their costs manageable, which typically was dropping down a tier or two. So it's ramifications of much larger policy going on inside of our nation. But we've seen multiple other businesses do the same thing, mid-size to large as well. So everybody is looking for ways to try to contain costs with this change.
100%. And with that, it's the balance of containing costs, but then also attracting the right talent. So what are other things that you can do to make your business, attractive to talent if maybe the benefit package isn't as attractive as it once was? So things like flexibility, hybrid remote work, strong workplace culture, employee recognition programs, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
To kind of build on what she's saying about other aspects that you could use to attract and retain talent when your benefits might take a hit for business decision reasons. Looking at ways that you can continue to upskill your employees. I know people have heard that word before. What does that mean? It means ways to challenge them so that they can elevate their career. So giving them stretch projects, something that they want to learn, something that they're interested in. So this way you're taking a hand in helping guide them through their career, which I know as business owners can be quite difficult because you're typically wearing a lot of different hats. But the more you invest in your employees, the more they're going to invest back in you. And so this way they will be able to do the best work for you to help you grow your business as a partner in a lot of ways.
great question. Does anybody else have questions? All right, I have a question for Justin.
I guess, are there any topics that you particularly would like to hear, rather than just questions? Is there something that's pertinent on your mind or somebody that you know's mind that you would love to give them an idea about?
All right, well, Justin, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What workforce planning strategies are organizations using to address talent shortages and prepare for future workforce needs?
So this will go back to a little bit of what I said in a previous answer, but looking at what are negotiables versus non-negotiables when you are looking to hire, developing a strong talent acquisition plan. What that means is how are you going to attract this talent? What are you going to do to bring them in and onboard them and ensure their experience is good? And then also make sure that they want to stay in that, they're feeling like they're getting invested in and they're going to grow within the organization. With that, when I say defining negotiables versus non-negotiables, typically soft skills, ensuring how you assess soft skills and what soft skills mean in the workplace is something that a lot of people typically overlook, especially in more technical positions. Somebody that has that go-getter attitude, they want to achieve, they want to contribute, they want to grow, is going to mean a lot more than somebody that is very technically strong. They know what they're doing, but they might not fit in within the overall organization. They could be rough around the edges, they could be causing, challenges. So, you have to understand where you want to train and what you want to train on and what really goes for your organization as far as growth and culture. On the management side, that goes back into investing in your employees, helping them achieve their career, understanding what their growth means and where they want to go inside of their career. So this way, they have something to look forward to and you can help coach them towards it.
Absolutely. Kind of on that topic too, I think succession planning. We're all so busy, the economy is fluctuating, and our workforce is aging. And I think having a strong succession plan in place to keep longevity going of an organization is really key. And we're seeing a lot more organizations even partnering with us on how can they better succession planning programs to upskill people that are maybe entry or mid-level management roles to take them to the next level and help the organization thrive, in years to come. So
Actually, to build on that, who here has helped develop a succession plan? You. Who here has thought about taking your tribal knowledge and putting that into a process so this way if you have to leave the business for whatever reason or you want to step away from the business, you can get somebody up to speed very quickly? Has anybody thought of that? Is anybody interested in doing that? You should be if you want somebody to take on the business after you decide to move on or you want to move on to a different endeavor, or even if you're trying to sell the business. That plan will ensure that it's your legacy, your continuity is there. Getting that into process rather than just in your mind, it can be a little bit of a tedious task, but it'll go a long way and it'll allow you to also see where the gaps inside of your business are. Because getting it written down on paper and understanding the workflow, you can take it to somebody else and they can say, have you thought about this? Where can you plug this over here? This might work a little bit better this way. So it's a good way to kind of audit yourself and your business as well.
absolutely. One other question, how many people in here work for, or have worked for an organization where there's that one person that knows how to do everything, and if they left, things would fall apart, right? That's not a good business model, right? So maybe how can we, thinking of that one person, how can we train others, or how can they learn to delegate more so that business isn't like, if that person left, right, took a forever vacation, how can the business keep thriving? So definitely things to think about. Well, any other questions or topics? I know this is kind of the last segment, so you guys are probably ready to be done, but is there anything else we can address or discuss with you today?
I think I like the way, I like to show guys something that someone would look into when you're gone and doesn't be out of way of doing things. So I like to have that structure or procedure that it's not only on your mind, but also we can create a picture or a software to get somebody to just look at it.
Long-term planning. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. You know, quick point I just wanted to bring to people's attention a connection to succession planning. So that's also important because you want to put something on your radar about getting your business better prepared for either growth, a sale, but there's something called opportunity zones are coming soon. The governor's going to not an announcement of opportunity zones in January, and some of those eligible tracts are in the Kent community. All that means is that it allows investors to make to have no tax on their capital gains when they invest in business, real estate in your community. So if there's investors in your community that's looking to help, you want to be a business that has those operationalized standards, succession planning, and you have a scalable business that investors can look at as an option. So just want to, again, just research opportunity zones and get on the state's website to see when those census tracts are selected.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I think we're ready to wrap up, but thank you for your time. We appreciate being able to cover this topic. Albert.
I just want to say thank you so much to all of our partners, all of our sponsors that were able to make this possible today. So again, just thank you to Gisa Credit Union, Kiewit Building Group, Newberry Realty, Harborstone Credit Union, Intech Consulting, Kent Reporter, DD Real Estate, and Salau Credit Union. Without them, this would not have been possible. I just want to say thank you so much. This is not the end of the conversation. This is the beginning of the conversation. You will get more information once we drill down on the survey. We're going to be talking about that again in our board meetings and our strategic planning meetings to make sure that the things that you're asking for, if we can provide them, we will provide them. If we cannot provide them, the beauty of a chamber is we have partners that can provide that information. So be on the lookout for follow-up from today, and please go and enjoy the Expo. Go out and check out some of the businesses. And then also for our sponsors as well, I know we have dinner. It's going to be up by the stage. So I'll be meeting you all over there for dinner, folks. We've been here since 8 o'clock. And so I just appreciate you all for doing that. So dinner is served downstairs. But thank you very much and have a wonderful day.